issuing a document preservation request to telecom companies for contacts of that day. And there's been suggestions that lawmakers would also be part of that documentation request. Are you aware of it? And in terms of your own records, would you just turn them over to the committee if they?
Well, the only thing I learned more about this committee is more political than it is. You have reports now that the FBI is finished with their report. And I think it goes against everything the politics of the Democrats want to believe. You now watch that the Democrats in a time of Afghanistan, that they want to use their majority power to get people's phone records. They come from members of Congress, they're coming for everybody's thing. It's kind of amusing to me of how political they will go with this. I told the American public who I talked to that day. I literally went and talked to the American public on 3 different networks that day. I don't know. The real question has to be, the other report that came out this week is that the FBI told the Capitol Police beforehand there was a threat. They knew on December 14th there was problems. They had Inspector General reports of the failures of the top leadership in Capitol Police with not allowing them to have the training. They had the Kavanaugh hearings where the lines were broke. You had a chairman of House administration, that is in essence the mayor of this city, that had not been back to the Capitol since early May, that didn't take up any of it. You had a Republican on House administration that offered legislation and changes, correcting which Inspector General found, which never the majority allowing it to come forward. What's interesting to me is this so political of a committee that the Speaker picks and chooses who can be on. The chairman of committee says nothing's off limits but the Speaker. The reports at time and again was the Speaker offered the National Guard and told ahead of time of the warning, but apparently they don't want that information. Yes?
On that note, do you think that the Democrats are going to continue this until the 2022 elections?
Listen, how does the Democrat... I stop playing politics and I start focusing on what the American people. You've got Americans stranded in Afghanistan. Focus on that. You have the biggest foreign policy failure in pretty much my lifetime. Why wouldn't you have hearings on that? Why wouldn't you put a committee together to that? You got an intel committee chaired by Adam Schiff that spent the time to make it political and now spends its time on the other committee as well. And you watch the failures under his own watch. I think there's a lot of correcting going on that I would focus on that the American people would expect.